confession number 1. Are my standards too high? Ma Newari keta. I want to date a Newari girl myself who has the same vibes as me and who doesn't smoke weed. And also someone who doesn't have a lot of exes.
Okay.
And is kind of respectful towards my parents. This is the confession 1 we got about relationships.
एकदम धेरै नै बक्सेसहरू चाहिँ रहेछ.
Yeah,
तर
there's cast into it.
But I feel like at least the person knows what he wants and it's better for the person not to fool around with उसको त्यो boxesहरू tick नगर्ने मान्छे, I think. If he wants to date a Newari girl or marry a Newari girl भनेपछि don't date or fool around with Chhetriwala. I don't know.
Also, I feel like the second part of it where he's like a person who does not have a lot of exes.
That is
And then what was the third thing? There was
Who
also
doesn't
third?
smoke weed.
Who does not smoke weed. Okay, understandable.
Uh-huh.
Personal preference हुन्छ. But I also want to know what this person's background is.
Yeah.
In terms of dating, does he have a lot of exes?
That's एकदमै त्यो red flag के, because the person normally के हुन्छ भने you don't want एकदमै त्यो एक्सेस भएको who is sexually active होला यस्तो खालको मान्छे, तर it's okay if you are doing so भन्ने खालको हुन्छ कि normally if I see, तर we don't know the background of the
मलाई
person.
केटी चाहिँ एकदम राम्री चाहियो, केही नभएको, दाग नलागेको,
I don't want to be.
background,
I don't want to.
parents मन पराओस्, सबै कुरा crown.
I don't want to be controversial, but it's kind of ironic, you know. As a Newar guy himself, he was like, I want a Newari girl. And, understandable expectations. But Nepal is very diverse. Maybe you should alikati. Dating is all about exploring and finding out what you like instead of setting your mind on something that you are clearly not able to achieve right now. Not attacking anyone, I'm sorry.
But like it reminds me of a time where हाम्रो एकजना दिदी हुनुहुन्थ्यो उस तामाङ, and then she's like म त तामाङ केटै बिहा गर्छु यताउता भन्नुहुन्थ्यो. अनि later on she fell in love, she matched with नेवार केटा के, अनि she हेर बहिनीहरू म त भन्थेँ म त तामाङ केटै खोज्छु भनेर हैन, तर नपर्यो के गर्ने भनेर. So I think that's what life brings you to, and that's you don't really decide on things like this. It's like मलाई चाहिँ
Love ma आँखा खोलेर love गर्नु पर्छ, guys. And welcome to Nepali Chhori Haru. This is our third episode. And as previously we talked about romantic relationships, यसपालि पनि this is the part 2. This podcast is an 8-part series sponsored by UNFPA Nepal in collaboration with Paradygm Podcast. Thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the previous episode. Don't forget to follow us on our Instagram and TikTok, NCH Podcast. And today here we are respectful towards your stories, sharing your stories, and mixing our personal experiences on it.
Yeah. अनि यो एपिसोडमा we will talk about relationshipमा पनि toxic relationships-हरु अनि also dating trends-हरु के कस्तो छ त अहिले भनेर. I'm so excited, like always.
Yeah.
Because we'll be discussing Tinder and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, I think let's read another confession.
Yeah.
The second confession. Me, 24 female, and my boyfriend, 24 male, of 4 years only have sex once every month or 2. Is that a bad thing? The confession goes, I don't enjoy sex much, while my boyfriend could never have any time. He is very respectful and never pressures me, but I feel guilty when I realize how long it's been, especially when others talk about frequent sex. I often feel uncomfortable during sex, struggle with my body image, and working from home leaves me very tired and unattractive. I know that affects things, but I also feel like I shouldn't feel guilty for not wanting sex. We talked about it, he reassures me, and I don't need to feel guilty. He seems indifferent about the frequency, but I still worry that I'm not doing enough. It's the only thing that makes me fear for our relationship. Otherwise, it's loving and a happy relationship.
Wait, she says that her friends उसले चाहिँ साथीहरुको बारेमा सुनेर चाहिँ आफूले चाहिँ त्यतिसम्म नगरेको कि जस्तो
फ्रिक्वेन्सीको कुरामा
अनि plus she was like I don't crave sex much, but my boyfriend does it anytime he wants.
It's like उसले क्लियरली भनेको छ नि त उसले खासै इन्जोय गर्दैन सेक्स भनेर अनि कस्तो
Body image पनि भनेको
या
छ।
बडी इमेजको कुरा भयो आई फिल लाइक उसको यो कन्फेसनबाट चाहिँ उसले आफ्नो बोयफ्रेन्डसँग कम्युनिकेट चाहिँ गरेको छ लाइक यो फ्रिक्वेन्सी रिलेटेड तर आई डोन्ट थिङ्क सी हेज कम्युनिकेटेड अबाउट लाइक सी इज अनकम्फोर्टेबल बिकज अफ बडी इमेजवाला कुरा अनि सी डज नट इन्जोय इटवाला कुरा के आई थिङ्क कम्युनिकेट गऱ्यो भनेपछि नट ओन्ली लुक वी डोन्ट डु इट अफ्टन भन्दा पनि मेबी वी आई डोन्ट वान्ट टु डु इट बिकज फर्स्ट कुरा आई डोन्ट इन्जोय इट एन्ड सेकेन्ड कुरा भनेको चाहिँ आइ एम नट रियली कम्फोर्टेबल विथ माई बडीवाला कुरा पनि कम्युनिकेट गऱ्यो भने सिन्स यस्तो हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ हेल्दी रिलेसनसिप खालको छ नि त सायद इफ द पर्सन इज रियली लभिङ एन्ड अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ भनेपछि द पर्सन विल अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड यु तिम्रो त्यो कुराहरू पनि के सो आई थिङ्क यो कुरा चाहिँ क्लियरली कम्युनिकेट चाहिँ गर्नुपर्छ जस्तो लागिरहेछ यस्तो हेर्दा हेर
I don't think she's worried about what her partner thinks. It's more,
reassure गरेको जस्तो पनि सुने मैले
Yeah.
it's more like she feels guilty for not doing it often because everyone around her is frequenting
Doing it a
in
lot.
So
sex.
she has set a standard that in a healthy relationship a sex life should look like this भनेर and while she really likes the relationship she's also questioning that if this one factor will probably affect the relationship होइन अनि I think a lot of us can relate to this because body image is a thing that अब त यस्तो छ स्किनी छ हुन्छ नि हेर्दाखेरि यस्तो खाले देख्छ हाइट छैन यताउता होइन अनि गोरी छस् काली छस् अनि in most parts of our life we have this place where we can be like, okay, I'll dress a certain way, I will do this, I'll do that, and then the most vulnerable parts of your body, even if you like wear baggy jeans or like baggy shirt, you can do that, but to be this intimate with someone also means, you know, being very open about your body, right? So I think यस्तो कुरामा चाहिँ body image आफूमै if you're not confident then अर्काले reassure गरेर पनि it's a long way to go जस्तो कि
She also said I always work at home होइन अनि त्यसैले I'm like
feel
feeling unattractive tired भनेर I've heard some people do it like with the lights off because they're body conscious हुन्छ नि like बत्ती सत्ती निभाएर not looking at each other, like that's also a type of intimacy that people crave होइन अनि इन्टिमेसीको कुरामा चाहिँ यु हेभ टु अलवेज कम्युनिकेट विथ यर पार्टनर बिकज के कुरा रङ हुन्छ राइट हुन्छ इट्स नेभर नोइङ अनि त्यसपछि इफ यु योर सेल्फ फिल लाइक you think you are unattractive and you're guilty because you're not having sex more often, like त्यो चाहिँ I think त्यो रिलेसनसिपलाई अफेक्ट गर्ने कुरा चाहिँ होइन, मोर लाइक तिम्रो आफ्नै मेन्टल स्टेटलाई चाहिँ अफेक्ट गरिरहेको छ. And a lot of time sex is related to your confidence as well, your body image as well.
Confession 3. I'm 26 female and I was in a toxic and abusive relationship for 4 years. Some people might tell me how it is possible to stay with him for that long, but it's not as easy as it seems. He would slap me, blackmail me about my nudes, which he filmed himself without me knowing. Some days he would punch me on my eyes and then they would swell up. Then he would make me wear makeup to hide the bruises on my face and body. After 4 years of this abusive relationship, I broke up and left his house and started living alone. I hope people who hear my story realize that beating up your partner is not okay. It is abusive and you have to stand up for yourself even if it is hard.
Oh my god.
This was a lot. There are so many layers. One, your consent is violated, actively violated. To be filmed without knowing is absolutely not right. This was she blackmail, violence, beating up, and then asking her to hide these bruises. Like a layer of trust is already broken. Then you also can't confide to other people. The evidence pani thopa huncha ni.
Yeah. So different kind of कस्तो अब्युज, फिजिकल अब्युज छ यहाँ पुरै, अनि लाइक भर्बली पनि, अनि डिफ्रेन्ट फर्म अफ अब्युज भइरहेछ. अनि इट्स आइ एम सो ग्ल्याड सी लेफ्ट के सी ह्याड इनफ करेज टु डु द्याट इभन आफ्टर 4 years. अनि लाइक सी सेड 4 वर्षसम्म यस्तो अब्युज सहँदा सहँदै पनि मान्छेहरूले अलि बुझ्न चाहिँ गाह्रो हुँदैन, बुझ्न चाहिँ मान्छेहरूलाई अलि कस्तो हुन्छ भने कम्प्रिहेन्ड गर्न सक्दैन कि 4 वर्षसम्म युआर स्टिल गोइङ थ्रु द्याट, वाइ डिन्ट यु गेट आउट अफ इट. इट इज सो इजी के भन्नलाई, तर त्यो सिचुएसनमा भइसकेपछि इभन दो यु नो इट्स रङ वाट इज ह्यापनिङ, तिमीलाई पिटिरहेछ कसैले, यसरी अब्युज गरिरहेछ, तैपनि इट्स सो डिफिकल्ट टु गेट आउट अफ इट के. कुनै कुरा एक्जिट गर्न जति डिफिकल्ट के पनि हुँदैन.
Yeah, I remember a series. They were talking about domestic violence. I think it's a really good series. It's called The Maid. It's in Netflix.
Is she a single mother?
Yeah, she's a single mother. I mean, she has a partner, but
Yeah.
she's kind of a single mother, you know. And so this magic violence go, domestic violence go, take a circle where the guy cuts off like usanga एउटा financial capability हुँदैन, ऊ जब गर्न सक्दैन होइन, त्यो नम्बर 1 भेरिएबल त्यही भयो, त्यहाँबाट एक्जिट गर्न डिफिकल्ट भयो होइन. अर्को चाहिँ द गाई अल्सो ड्रिङ्क्स एल्कोहल, बट देन when in the days he does not, he is really loving like I'm looking after the child, I'm looking after you, and I love you so much, I'm doing 2 overtime job, I deserve this alcohol time to myself हैन. अनि त्यसपछि अनि त्यो अब्युजको साइकलमा त्यसरी जाने, and then he gets really drunk, and then he becomes mad that hey, why am I the only one who's doing this much hard work to keep this family together, and then he ends up being incredibly violent होइन. He does not hit her directly, and त्यही भएर अलिकति ग्रे एरिया हुन्छ कि, like suppose in this confession चाहिँ she was harmed physically होइन. And then there are different kinds of abuse, like emotional abuse होइन, mental abuse and financial abuse होइन, कति धेरै कुरा हुन्छ. अनि एज अ स्पेक्टेटर चाहिँ हामीलाई चाहिँ हानेकै मात्र चाहिँ अब्युज हो,
त्यही द्याट इज आवर अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ कि नर्मली.
अनि सो हामीलाई चाहिँ हानेकै मात्र अब्युज लाग्छ. अनि इभन लाइक इफ यु गो टु पुलिस स्टेसन टु बी लाइक हनी मान्छेमा इमोसनली अब्युज गरेछ भने भन्दाखेरि इट्स डिफिकल्ट टु प्रुभ द्याट, भर्सेस इफ यु टेक अ ब्रुज एन्ड यु गो इट्स लाइक ओ यु हेभ बिन हिट खाले होइन. अनि देयर वाज अ भेरी फेमस लाइन कि ओ आई हेभ टु बी हिट or like my arms have to be broken for you to write a report, for you to take an action भने जस्तो. So yeah, it's difficult to get around these things, and I'm glad that she had the courage to be like, I leave भनेर के.
And honestly she is like setting examples है जस्तो लाग्छ.
I know someone who has been through a lot of domestic violence होइन. अनि म चाहिँ जहिले I used to tell them to leave भनेर क्या. And then when you grow up, you started growing up हुन्छ नि, you realize it's not as easy रहेछ हुन्छ नि, because they have a family together, they think हुन्छ like this is the father of my children, म कसरी गर्नु, like how will they be capable, they married at a young age होइन. त्यस्तो खाले त्यो बल्ल नुवान्सेसहरू बुझ्छ नि त पछि गएर हुन्छ नि. स्पेसली अब हाम्रो अब सोसाइटीमा अलिकति फ्यामिलीजहरू त्यो ट्रेडिसनल रोल्सहरू लिनुपर्छ. इभन इफ समन इज गोइङ थ्रु अ लट अफ अब्युज, दे आर सजेस्टेड टु स्टे विथ देम रिगार्डलेस, because of everybody knows about your relationship. What are you going to do when they find out you guys are separated? You know, एकदम कम्प्लेक्स खालको रिलेसनसिपमा चाहिँ. अनि वी डोन्ट रियलाइज कि लाइक भिक्टिमको मात्र रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटी होइन टु लिभ भनेर क्या. Like we always say, oh, it's because she's not leaving, that's why she's just getting all of these bruises, she's doing this to herself, she's doing this to her children हुन्छ नि, she's making त्यो सबै ब्लेम चाहिँ इट्स काइन्ड अफ शिफ्टेड टुवर्ड्स द वुमेन. लाइक जुन चाहिँ त्यसले चाहिँ त्यो अकाउन्टेबिलिटी होइन, जुन चाहिँ अब त्यो फादर ओर हस्बेन्ड छ नि ओर पार्टनर होइन, त्यो अकाउन्टेबिलिटीको त्यो बाटो चाहिँ दिँदैन क्या. वी किप लुकिङ एट दिस हुन्छ नि इन एकदम एकोरो बाटो. अनि दिस ह्यापन्स अ लट, लाइक अहिले पनि अ लट अफ वुमेन लाइक उनीहरूकै पार्टनरले अब्युज गर्छ. अब भर्खर इक्जाम्पल थियो नि होइन. अब डिड सी डिजर्भ इट त होइन,
अफकोर्स नट.
बट अब सोसाइटीले चाहिँ कस्तो पोर्ट्रे गर्छ भन्दाखेरि इट्स हर फल्ट फर स्टेइङ राइट, इट्स हर फल्ट फर स्टेइङ, इट्स हर फल्ट फर स्टिल किप गेटिङ ब्याक विथ हिम भनेर. तर त्यो जुन अब्युजमा त्यो पावर डाइनामिक्स हुन्छ होइन, त्यो अब्युज गरेर नै त्यो पावर लिएको हुन्छ नि त. Like once you start defending yourself, they are going to become more violent, they are going to become more abusive हुन्छ नि. त्यो एउटा कम्प्लेक्स जुन छ नि, आई थिङ्क स्पेसली अब हाम्रो पोलिसिजहरूमा चाहिँ त्यस्तो सिरियसली लिँदैन क्या. मलाई कस्तो चित्त दुख्छ हुन्छ लाइक यो भाइलेन्सको कुराहरू घर झगडा हो भन्दाखेरि होइन. लाइक इट्स भेरी सिरियस. अनि हेल्प गर्नुपर्छ मान्छेहरूलाई अनि इभन आफ्टर द गर्ल लिभ्स होइन सी इज अ victim herself she goes and then she tries to make a name for herself होइन अनि त्यतिखेर चाहिँ people keep shaming हुन्छन् like oh she's a divorcee or like she's a separated person like she did this to her children त्यो एउटा जुन ब्लेम सिफ्ट गर्ने हाम्रो यो इट्स आवर रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटी टु टेक इट अवे फ्रम इट जस्तो लाग्छ क्या मलाई अनि स्पेसली अब यो केसमा सी इज भेरी ब्रेभ फर लिभिङ
अनि यसमा चाहिँ जस्तै यो अब्युजको कुरामा नर्मली इफ यु डोन्ट ह्याभ टु सपोर्ट सिस्टम अनि फाइनेन्सियली त्यो फाइनेन्सियल एस्पेक्ट पनि कति इम्पोर्टेन्ट हुँदो रहेछ कि लाइक यु हेभ अ चाइल्ड मानिदिउँ अनि यु आर गोइङ थ्रु अब्युज तर यु नो कि म आई एम फाइनेन्सियली केपेबल अफ डुइङ सो अरू मेरो फ्यामिलीमा सपोर्ट गर्छ भनेपछि यु गेट द करेज एटलिस्ट अलिअलि भए पनि मेबी आई क्यान ट्राई भनेर होइन तर वेन यु आर नट डिपेन्डेन्ट अन त्यो अब्युजर अनि लाइक देयर इज एकदम कल्चरल प्रेसर जुन भन्यो नि अनि प्लस देयर इज नो सपोर्ट सिस्टम भनेपछि तिमी त्यो दलदलमा फस्दै जान्छु भनेको के त्यो साइकलमा झन् त्यो विशेष साइकलमा गएको गई हुने रहेछ
प्लस नट जस्ट द्याट यु the children also look up to their parents त्यही कुरा सिक्छ त्यस्तै पार्टनर खोज्छ अनि this generational thing which is passed down
generational trauma यो भन्दै गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ I want to discuss an aspect called entry and exit of a relationship like freely entering and freely exiting to have the freedom of to enter and exit from a relationship is so crucial जस्तो कि like कहिले you're just talking as a friend अनि कुरै कुरामा कुरा चेन्ज हुन्छ एन्ड देन ल हामी त अब सँगै हो नि we've started dating भनेर खाले जुन एउटा narrative हुन्छ नि कि and I know for a lot of people this is true कि बोलिरह होइन and one party is just trying to gauge कि कस्तो छ अर्को पार्टीले चाहिँ अब यति बोलिसक्यो अब त पक्कै सँगै हो we're together भन्ने खाले अनि त्यो कुनै बेला चाहिँ एउटा पार्टीलाई चाहिँ चाहिएर चाहिँ अर्को पार्टी is not strong enough or like is not vocal enough or she convinces herself or he convinces himself that he wants to be in a situation भनेर जस्तो होइन so त्यो entry अनि exit in a relationship चाहिँ freely भएन जस्तै for example in this case as well she wants to exit but then she can't exit because of different things होइन उसलाई freely exit दिएन भने चाहिँ त्यो dynamic abusive हुन जान्छ violent हुन जान्छ not just within themselves but even as a society ले पनि त constrain गरेको छ नि त होइन तिम्रो बच्चा छ तिमी किन छोडेर गएर होइन why you doing this to your family होइन बच्चा हुर्काउनु छ त्यो गर्नु छ होइन भन्दाखेरि त्यो एक्जिट र इन्ट्री फ्री भएन भने चाहिँ एकदम प्रब्लम हुने कि अनि आई थिङ्क वान मोर थिङ अबाउट द कल्चरल कि हामी एकचोटि बिहा भयो ल युनिभर्सल भनेर हेर्छौँ कि हुन्छ नि देयर इज नो गोइङ ब्याक फ्रम दिस जस्तो बट आई थिङ्क त्यो नेगेटिभ चाहिँ अलिकति चेन्ज गर्यो भने वुड बी बेटर
इभन नेपाली कल्चरमा चाहिँ अहिले चाहिँ सिन्स वी हेभ एक्सेस टु इन्टरनेट एन्ड अल पुरै वेस्टर्नाइज भयो सोसाइटी बाहिरको विदेशको हेरेर डिभोर्स गर्नुपर्ने बिकज पहिला त डिभोर्सको रेट एकदम लो थियो अहिले हाई भयो भन्ने त्यो चलन छ कि तर त्यो भनेको त हामीले बाहिरको हेरेर होइन नि त पिपल आर अवेर द्याट दे क्यान टेक देयर स्ट्यान्ड इफ दे आर नट ह्याप्पी भने दे क्यान गेट आउट अफ द सिचुएसन भन्ने हो नि त होइन र त्यो पहिला त होइन फेरि वुमेनलाई नै सेम गरिन्छ कि आफ्नो बच्चाको जिन्दगी बिगार्यो आमा भएर बच्चाको बारेमा सोच्दैन अब तिम्रो जिन्दगी त गइसक्यो अब बच्चाको सोच्नु पर्ने हो नि तिमीले भनेर इभन यो त बिहे भइसकेको कुरा भयो तर यु आर डेटिङ समबडी भनेपछि इभन द गर्ल यो कन्फेसनमा सी वाज डेटिङ समबडी फर 4 years रिलेसनसिपमा थियो होइन लाइक एक्सपेक्टेसन इभन विथ यर फ्रेन्ड्स होइन तिमी बसेर कुरा गरिरहेको छौ भने ओहो दे आर टुगेदर फर 4 years 5 years अब अफकोर्स दे आर गोइङ टु गेट म्यारिड हुन्छ नि साथीहरूबाट पनि एक्सपेक्टेसन हुन्छ यु फिल लाइक कि यो मान्छेसँग आई हेभ स्पेन्ड सो मच अफ टाइम द पर्सन नोज इच एन्ड एभ्रिथिङ मेरो हाइज एन्ड लोज एन्ड सबै कुरा थाहा छ आई डोन्ट नो अब म कसरी हुन्छ नि ब्रेकअप गरेँ इभन दो आई फेल आउट अफ लभ होला आई एम नट ह्याप्पी होला होइन एज सिम्पल एज द्याट अनि कस्तो फिल हुन्छ कि लाइक यो रिलेसनसिपमा बस्नु भनेको कहिले पनि अब्लिगेसन चाहिँ नहोस् कि होइन त्यो एक्जिट गर्न नजाने अरू कम्युनिकेट नगरेपछि चाहिँ एउटा अब्लिगेसन जस्तो भइदिन्छ जसले गर्दाखेरि एन्डमा गएर टक्सिक हुने अनि अब्युजको फर्म लिने भनेर हुन्छ कि यु सुड नो वे टु एन्ड थिङ्स के
इभन लाइक इन अ सोसाइटी चाहिँ ल बिहा गरेपछि एउटा डिफ्रेन्ट भएन like you said even before marriage if if people are dating within the same friend group, that is also an issue.
Yeah.
Like let's say there is like 4 of us, and somebody like two of you are dating there, and it's a group, and then one of you wants to break off, but then it's like la ma ta isolate po hune ho ki, group बाट exit hune ho ki, हैन. अनि फेरि it's such a problem कि त्यो ल मान्छे isolate भयो, like हुन्छ नि ग्रुपबाट exit भयो अरे, भएपछि अनि she decides to move on भन्दाखेरि oh my god यस्तो villainize गरेर हैन कि ओहो यो त अर्कैसँग गयो भनेर हैन. अनि the person who makes the first move is the one to get questioned के फेरि a lot हैन. अनि यो चाहिँ हामी like even media houses हरूमा पनि देखिरहेको हुन्छौँ कि हुन्छ नि somebody decides to move on and then it's really really villainized by the entire झन् अहिले त कस्तो cloud following हुन्छ नि त. अनि it's so difficult in that sense to be very open about your relationships.
Just hats up to this girl.
Yeah. You are inspiring people. Next generation, you yourself are able to live freely because of what you have done for yourself.
I think we need to read another confession. Confession 4. I've been dating this guy for a year and I don't know what I don't want to sound materialistic, but he's kasto kanjus ke. I paid for everything, his wants, needs, even when we hang out with friends. He borrows money but never pays it back. When he wants something, he asks without hesitation, but when it's my turn, there is just false hope. He only acts sweet when he needs something, otherwise he does not seem to care. And he's not broke, and introduced me to this whole bloodline. I'm always the one going to see him, always putting in the effort, but my friends make fun of me for it, and honestly I'm starting to feel like he's just using me. What do I do? What should I do?
Run.
This is
stop giving him money and just
it's so visible that हैन अहिले हामीले run. I've been in similar situation. मलाई चाहिँ like I know my friends हैन यस्तो भएको थियो कि I'm like, oh, okay, I save up money and I do my own things. तर मेरो साथीहरूले यस्तो लेभलसम्म जिस्काउन थाले थियो कि ओ तिमी त तिमीसँग यस्तो पैसा छ भने बी आवर सुगर मम्मी एज वेल खालको कि साथीहरूले जिस्काएर मलाई. सो आई हेभ अल्सो बिन इन यस्तो सिचुएसन जसमा चाहिँ आई एम द ओन्ली वान पेइङ डेट्समा, आई एम द वान टेकिङ माई पार्टनर आउट सबै थोक. अनि at some point like सुरुमा चाहिँ आइएम लाइक एकदम गिभिङ खालको मान्छे, आई लभ डुइङ दिस थिङ्स फर माई पार्टनर होइन. आफ्टर सम पोइन्ट यस्तो फ्रस्ट्रेसन हुन थाल्छ लाइक वाइ एम आई डुइङ सो मच भन्ने थाल्को. अनि यु नो इट्स रङ, यु नो यु आर द ओन्ली वान गिभिङ एन्ड द अदर पर्सन इज लाइक बिङ नाइस टु यु बिकज दे वान्ट यु, दे वान्ट मनी अर दे वान्ट टु हेभ गुड टाइम विथ यु. तर यु डोन्ट नो कि कति बेला स्टप गर्ने इभन दो योर फ्रेन्ड्स आर कलिङ यु आउट. कस्तो डिफिकल्ट हुन्छ. आई डोन्ट नो, आई बिन इन द सिमिलर सिचुएसन.
First of all, I want to say thank you, Sonika, and thank you, Confessor, for changing the narrative that only guys are breadwinner, भनेर. But I'm sorry. अनि मलाई चाहिँ लाइक यो कन्फेसन पढ्यो होइन, मलाई लाइक आई फिल सो ब्याड फर द गर्ल बिकज सिज लाइक हिज इन्ट्रोड्युस मी टु हिज होल ब्लड लाइन भनेर. बिकज लाइक द्याट भनेको त डिफल्ट हुन्छ नि, दे आर गोइङ टु गेट म्यारिड भनेर सोध्छ नि त वान्स इन्ट्रोड्युस फ्यामिली होइन. बट
मेरो पैसा लिएर चाहिँ यार के गर्ने यार.
sounds like she loves him होइन, तर you should really reassess what you want from him. Girl.
I think the reciprocation नभएर पनि problem आएको हो जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई. Because I think it's important to be generous when you're in a relationship होइन. It's important to be generous, kind, loving, all these things होइन. But then त्यो चाहिँ दुवै साइडेड हुनुपर्छ कि. Like even if like one party has a lot of cash रे, another party does not have a lot of cash रे, but generosity is not just shown in monetary exchange.
गिफ्ट्सको रूपमा मात्र हुँदैन.
गिफ्ट्सको रूपमा मात्र हुँदैन. Like for example, you could be generous with your time, you could be generous with maybe you're giving art and craft as a gift हुन्छ नि,
DIY
गरेर दिरा हुन्छ कि होइन. Maybe you're generous when she needs your help in like अरू कुराहरू जस्तै maybe CV बनाउनु पर्यो अरे होइन, के लेटर लेख्नु पर्यो अरे होइन, असाइनमेन्टमा हेल्प चाहियो अरे होइन, मेबी नेटवर्क छ अरे होइन, मेबी सी निड्स अ हेल्प or like certain kind of things and he has that in his network होइन. There are multitude of ways where you could be generous के. अनि हाम्रो दिमागमा चाहिँ ए पैसा मात्र हुन्छ होइन, तर that I don't think that's how it works. Like care giving like एकदम
पैसा वाला कुरा पनि टु वेज नै हुनुपर्छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ.
मलाई पनि
I'm so done.
is the best option like you can do for your relationship and yourself. अब सबैजनाले सोच्छन् हुन्छ लाइक एकजना मात्र प्रोभाइडर हुन्छ एकजना मात्र लाइक लिने खाले हुन्छ भनेर तर if you are just going on dates होइन like first of all when it comes to date त जसले इनिसिएट गर्छ त्यसले तिर्नुपर्छ जस्तो लाग्दैन मलाई अनि त्यसपछि but as you go on with the relationship जे जस्तो भए पनि you have to balance out who is giving and who is the giver नि त
या आई थिङ्क यो कुरा चाहिँ मलाई चाहिँ के हुन्थ्यो भने डेट्समा जानु पऱ्यो भने फेरि पैसा खर्च हुने भयो भने द्याट युज टु बी माई फर्स्ट रियाक्सन कि दिमागमा अनि एक्साइटमेन्ट भन्दा पनि दिक्क लाग्ने कि छ्या टाइम पनि गइरहेछ आइ एम इन्भेस्टिङ सो मच टाइम मनी भयो फेरि मैले सुन्नुपर्छ अरू कुरा ओके इट्स बेटर फर मी टु नट गो भनेर सो वाट आई डिड अनि आई थिङ्क द पर्सन क्यान डु द सेम थिङ होइन I started setting boundaries होइन because I knew because I was not happy होइन त्यो gut feeling आउँछ होइन so I knew I was not happy I felt so exhausted होइन even though I liked the person होला तर पनि after some point दिक्क लाग्न थाल्छ so set your boundaries अनि boundary set गर्यो भने like तिमीले चाहिँ होइन I don't think I want to meet you अनि मैले what I did was मैले चाहिँ okay I'm ready to meet but I'm not the one हुन्छ नि who is going to pay this time भनेर
you give me treat
yeah like every time 99% I am doing it I'm not going to pay this time भनेर भनेपछि the person was like ए ओके त्यसो भए this time अलि मिल्दैन next time भेटौँ okay I just said that के because I felt like it's important for me होइन र अनि now the person knows कि होइन okay Sonika is not going to be हुन्छ नि मेरो sugar mommy or whatever literally you should हुन्छ नि so frustrating के I'm so done होइन मलाई त कस्तो rant हान्न मन लागिसक्यो होइन तर yeah I think you have to set the boundaries एकचोटि you start doing it त्यसपछि you feel so empowered you feel so happy म यस्तो मजाले सुतेको थियो त्यो दिन होइन I felt so good like finally I took my stand
Yeah, no, oh my god, I remember an instance where my first internship money was around 4,000-5,000. Okay? I think I was 18 and there was this guy and we were not dating but we were like friends this situation and then he's like oh you got 4,000 and then we went to love him he tried to spend the entire 4,000 that day and I was like oh अब 500 बाँकी छ जाउँ फ्र्यापे खाम हिमालयन जावामा अरे म त what
yeah
like my first ever internship money and I relate with you when you said you're very naive you're very young and you don't know how to protect your money and this is and also you're very like oh मसँग छ नि I can help you out भन्ने पनि हुन्छ नि कहिले कहिले
म त स्क्याम भएको छु so
no like I can relate to Sonika my friends used to be like oh when are you getting the princess treatment होइन यस्तो खाले भन्थ्यो तर मैले कहिले पनि लाइक सोचेको थिएन कि लाइक अब त्यो हुन्छ नि एउटा बोथ वेजमा लाइक त्यस्तो खाले हुन्छ स्पेसली अब बिकज लाइक द गर्ल इज पेइङ हुन्छ नि लाइक इट्स काइन्ड अफ कन्ट्रोभर्सियल भनेर
आई थिङ्क यो कुरामा चाहिँ यो सिमिलर कुरामा पर्न जान्छ लाइक दिस इज समथिङ माई सिस्टर अलवेज टट मी लाइक यु सुड नेभर बी इन द सिचुएसन वेयर द गाई इज द ओन्ली वान हु पेज पछि गएर चाहिँ यस्तो भइदिन्छ कि वेन लाइक उनै पे गर्ने उनै तिमीलाई फाइनेन्सको कुरामा चाहिँ है गरिरहेछ भनेपछि पछि गएर झगडा भयो के भयो भने के अरे मेरै पैसामा जान्थिस् त यहाँ होइन मेरै पैसामा आई टुक यु अराउन्ड हुन्छ नि लाइक सुगर लाइक त्यो गोल्ड डिगरवाला ट्याग दिन्छ कि सो यु सुड नेभर आफूलाई कहिले पनि त्यो सिचुएसनमा पार्नुहुन्न कि हुन्छ नि कसैले भन्न सकोस् कि तिमीमा औँला उठाउन सकोस् कि मैले गरिदिएर त यहाँसम्म पुगिस् भनेर कि सो आई थिङ्क इट सुड अलवेज बी लाइक त्यो हाफ एन्ड हाफ खालको जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ सो आई अलवेज ट्राई टु पे मेरो आफ्नो पार्ट कि जति अर्को मान्छे के अरे इन्सिस्ट गर्दाखेरि पनि रोमान्टिकली स्पेसली अर इभन फ्रेन्डसिपमा होइन आई ट्राई टु बी लाइक आई विल पे मेरो पार्ट केही छैन बिकज आई डोन्ट वान्ट समवन टु कम एट मी एन्ड बी लाइक अस्ति त मेरै पैसाले खाथिस् त भनेर झगडा भयो के भयो निकाल्छ क्या मान्छेहरूले यस्तो कुराहरू सो यु सुड डु द्याट
No, like I have the same experience with my friends. अनि म चाहिँ I used to feel so frustrated, like I was paying all the time.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, someone just हुन्छ नि तिम्रो उमा गएर खाएर निस्केको you've seen. Okay,
I know, like
I've witnessed what you're talking about basically.
Yeah, like I used to feel like why am I the only one paying हुन्छ नि अनि तर like I was a bit like childish त्यतिखेर होइन अनि भर्खर कम्प्लेन गर्न सुरु गरेको थिएँ क्या मैले like I was like guys always I have to pay why is this happening भनेर अनि त्यसपछि लाइक त्यो उताबाट कम्युनिकेसन नै त्यस्तो रेसिप्रोकेट नै भएन क्या अनि त्यसपछि देन आई डोन्ट नो गाइज लाइक त्यो फ्रेन्ड्स ब्रेकअप हुन्छ नि द्याट्स द वर्स्ट थिङ टु ह्यापन
फ्रेन्डसिपवाला ब्रेकअप चाहिँ
and they were like, yeah, every time you pay, you get so mad at us. It's like, even though I did not say it like verbally, पनि होइन त्यतिखेर तर पछि गएर चाहिँ I realized like त्यो त देखिहाल्छ नि like त्यो त definitely show on my face if I'm the
You're
only
so
one
done
paying
with
all
that
this.
नि त
अनि त्यस्तो खाले भयो अनि त्यसपछि I learned my lesson. Now I go out with friends, I'm like I'll pay भन्छु हुन्छ नि तर त्यो बोथ वेज चाहिँ हुन्छ किनभने अब आज मैले पे गरेँ भने नेक्स्ट टाइम मेरो फ्रेन्डले पे गर्छ.
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to have friends who are like जग्गा खोइ क्युआर देऊ देऊ म पे गर्छु खालि हुन्छ नि.
Send me your friends.
Because recently I think there was a gathering at my home and I was like मेरै घरमा भएपछि त
You are the one.
I am supposed
you're
to be
inviting people.
अनि I think there was like considerable amount of cash होइन अनि त्यसपछि अनि मैले चाहिँ त्यस्तो धेरै केही पनि भनेको थिएन अनि but then this one friend kept being like Shweta क्युआर देऊ क्युआर देऊ क्युआर देऊ.
Can you please help me be friends with that friend?
And so yeah, I'm grateful to have friends around.
Very lucky.
Let's do another confession. Confession number 5. Online dating in Nepal is basically just matching with someone, talking for a few days, and then acting like stranger if you ever see each other in public. They are just there to watch your Instagram stories. I'm honestly done with dating apps. कोही राम्रो ढङ्गको मान्छे भेट्दैन. So have you guys used dating apps? के?
No,
Yes.
You have. So I have also. I've been active for so many years.
Oh my god, मैले एउटा meme देखेको थिएँ क्या. So there was this Bumble meme. My friend is on Bumble होइन अनि उसले चाहिँ when you see that homie coming back to Bumble after the breakup भनेर and then another long time when he's always there भनेर this like comrade टाइपको थियो क्या होइन यस्तो फनी थियो त्यो लाइक त्यस्तो हुन्छ लाइक बम्बलमा धेरै बेर फ्रेन्ड्स भएको मान्छेहरू.
I think मलाई चाहिँ because I've been मेरो लागि I use dating apps अहिले dating trend हेर्दाखेरि I relate to this person को frustration होइन because dating appsहरू नै it's a way out हुन्छ नि medium जस्तो for you to connect with new people. For me मेरो colleagueहरू normally are older side मा so अनि also अर्को कुरा भनेको like I'm working I don't have college हुँदाखेरि पनि I was only into academics so त्यस्तो opportunity पनि मिलेन मलाई होइन. The only medium for me to know new people भनेको dating app नै थियो अनि I enjoyed it पनि you get to talk to new people खालको. तर I've been on dating app अनि like of course तिम्रो Bumble especially I'm more like I use that अनि तर कस्तो एक्सपिरियन्सेसहरू सधैँ राम्रो नै हुँदैन के. For me के अरे I've met people, I've been ghosted, I have had horrible experiences. Of course, I've made amazing friends out of Bumble. But I'm not there to make friends. So, I have not had positive outcome. होइन यति धेरै म बम्बलमा भइसक्यो कि it's so frustrating. I have seen people grow up मेरो आँखा अगाडि है.
Oh my god.
It's so funny होइन.
I didn't expect that.
यस्तो हुन्छ कि ए उसले नयाँ अकाउन्ट बनाएछ ए he has turned 24 ए उसको त दारी आएछ. Literally I'm not making it up guys होइन. This is so true होइन. You see people who के like अहिले चाहिँ फेरि मेरो सर्कलमा पनि I talk to my friends होइन even मेरो cousin and also like they have been using dating app त्यही भएर पनि I don't feel out of place so they like I can talk to them अनि relatable problem हुन्छ. तर I think अलि when you talk to somebody online medium बाट भनेपछि it's not always reliable र trustworthy चाहिँ हुँदैन रहेछ के.
It's not safe.
Yeah, it's not safe at all. अनि मेरो story share गर्छु ल. So I was talking to this guy Bumble-मा होइन. We talked for a month. अनि मलाई चाहिँ अहिले पनि मेरो few friends like suggest गर्छ कि Sonika you talk to somebody for a week and then you should meet होइन. त्यो कुरा चाहिँ you should know what is the spark हुन्छ नि energy between you guys in person मा भनेर. तर the person told me म सङ्खुवा सभामा रिसर्च गरिरहेको छु अनि I really like that about person because I like people who are intelligent and all होइन. So रिसर्च गरिरहेको छु and all भनेर he kept me hanging अनि he didn't meet me. अनि out of nowhere he started saying I don't want to meet you because I find you intimidating के भन्न थाल्यो, which made me doubt myself है. पछि he ghosted me, he deleted his account. अनि I was, you know, we were talking every day for a month अनि I was kind of attached and that made me question what happened खालको हैन. And then I searched the person because I had this instinctive feeling कि there's something off खालको. अनि I searched the person, I literally found the person on Reddit अनि also on OnlyFans. लास्टमा त्यो मान्छे त गे रहेछ फर्स्ट कुरा. अनि लिटरली हैन the content was so gay हैन. अनि the person I don't know if the person was non-Nepali by the way हैन. So के अरे गे रहेछ अनि I saw एकदम explicit कन्टेन्टहरु and that made me realize मान्छेहरुले यो क्याटफिस गरेको हो कि मलाई घोस्ट पनि गर्यो त्यो मान्छेले, स्पेशली क्याटफिस गर्यो हैन. सो क्याटफिसको केस चाहिँ एकदमै नर्मल हुँदो रहेछ. सो इफ यु आर युजिङ डेटिङ एप भनेपछि इफ यु आर टकिङ टु समबडी प्लिज गुगल लेन्समा गएर फोटो चाहिँ चेक गर्नु. आई डिन्ट डु द्याट अनि मलाई चाहिँ आई थिङ्क द्याट्स द बिगेस्ट रिग्रेट. सो यस्तो खालको इस्युहरू भइरहेको हुन्छ विथ डेटिङ एप्स होइन. यु गेट टु लाइक मिट न्यू पिपल तर यु अल्सो एड मोर ट्रमा तिम्रो लाइफमा जस्तो लाग्छ क्या. आई डोन्ट नो. Do you guys have any like you've used any?
Okay, so it's not my story. It's a friend's friend story.
Okay.
But then this one friend was living in some part of America and she matched with a guy across borders to Canada. Okay? And he's a Nepali ne ho sathi. And so it's a success story. 4 years now they're married and everything.
Okay. Positive pani rahecha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because my friend had a Nepali visa, sorry, Nepali passport, she couldn't like readily go and travel to Canada neither. But then this guy was a Canadian citizen and he would come in and then meet her and then go out and he would do that as frequent as every weekend. Okay? And it's a nice story. It's really cute and I like it. Even usko, Ravina Deshraj, even she has a really cute story.
Bumbleमै भेटेको रे.
Bumbleमै भेटेको रे. And she says it was the first match के फेरि. And then
why people are so lucky. I'm happy for them.
And then they post like the cutest stories and everything. It's really cute and like it's good to find love again in life.
That's
right?
really nice. अनि मेरो साथीहरुको पनि like मेरो 2-3 जना साथीहरुको सक्सेसफुल बम्बल स्टोरी पनि छ के हैन. And that also makes me hopeful हैन. Like because what I believe हैन म डेटिङ एपमा छु I'm a nice person हैन. I'm there to find love and maybe something potentially एकदम राम्रो केही कुरा हैन. So if I'm there भनेपछि there are other people who are equally not for त्यो हुन्छ नि have fun हुन्छ not here for hookup भने हुन्छ बायोमा अनि लास्टमा फर्स्ट कुनै what position are you into भनेर यस्तो हुन्छ कि उनीहरुको. I'm not even kidding. अनि सो त्यही भएर चाहिँ I think I'm hopeful about हुन्छ नि. Of course who does not want to be in love and be loved. So nice feeling हैन. So yeah.
I thought online dating I always feel like they'll end up being a catfish. Like my पहिला there was this one person like I matched with and especially I'm talking to him I know and it's like yeah handsome so and I know पछि मेरो साथीले she showed me an influencer बाहिर going there same picture and I was like girl के गरेर हो भनेर. And then this same profile picture छ अनि अर्को नाम छ हैन अनि फेरि म्याच गरेको छ अनि I talk to you this that भनेको त like blocked. And I don't trust online apps. I'm so sorry.
अलि डिफिकल्ट चाहिँ हुन्छ.
I have a question for you too हैन. What are the first red flags that you see in these online profiles?
So मलाई चाहिँ पर्सनली हैन यो त मेरो पर्सनल हैन. I don't like people who post mirror selfies. They're too obsessed, narcissist वाला एनर्जी आउँछ हैन. अनि सेकेन्ड कुरा चाहिँ मेबी अलि too good to be true pictures हुन्छ नि लाइक अलि फोटोसुट खालको त्यो वाला भयो भने चाहिँ हो पिक्चर्सको केसमा. तर बायो उनीहरूले के लेखिरहेको छ वाट आर दे लुकिङ फर यस्तो कुराहरू पनि इट अफेक्ट्स अ लट. आई डोन्ट नो मलाई त धेरै कुरा हेर्छु कि इभन म जोडिएक साइन समेत हेर्छु. सो या अ लट अफ थिङ्स. या
मलाई त आई फाइन्ड ट्रेकिङ when your red flags are like what do you mean like your only personality trait is going hiking
अनि height
I feel very called out.
Even like मलाई चाहिँ वर्स्ट कुरा लाग्ने बायोमा I'm 6 feet tall. That is your bio. That is your personality. Your height is your whole personality.
No, like red flag त अलि weird हुन्छ कुनै कुनै profiles they're like अलि black screen होइन अनि त्यसपछि if you match with them they start एकदम weird conversations like त्यस्तो खाली पनि हुन्छ. But I'm out of these apps, like I'm so grateful. Sorry Sonika, best of luck.
Thank you. Don't lose hope.
I'm still hopeful.
Yeah, my friend she found our match, they've been dating 5 years.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like जस्तै तिमी भन्यौ नि अघि न, you're that demographic who is there to find something long term होइन. But maximum of the demographic that you want to date are probably there for like hookup होइन. अनि यो hookup cultureले dictate गरेको हो नि त कति कुराहरू. And sometimes I feel maybe if you're looking for a long term thing, at least नेपालको सिनेरियोमा maybe Bumble is not the place होइन.
तर yeah, I keep that in mind normally होइन. So I always check मान्छेहरूले त्यो अप्सन हुन्छ के. सो वाट आर यु लुकिङ फरमा होइन. सो मान्छेहरूको चाहिँ हुकअप हुन्छ नि, इन्टिमेसी विदाउट रिलेसनसिप समथिङ के अप्सन छ होइन. त्यो होइन कि लङ टर्म रिलेसनसिप, सर्ट टर्म रिलेसनसिप बट ओके विथ लङ टर्म, त्यो अप्सन सेलेक्ट गर्न मिल्छ कि होइन. अनि अर गोइङ विथ द फ्लो. आई ट्राई टु स्वाइप राइट ओन्ली इफ आई त्यो हुन्छ नि वी आर अन द सेम पेज सुरुमै भनेर. अनि आई अलवेज ट्राई टु start the conversation with look what are we looking for, you know, because I don't want to waste my time, I've done that enough bhanera type ko kurale chai I start my conversation. But still they are like, oh we are on the same page, and they end up ghosting, or they're like no this is not what I'm looking for khalko bhancha.
Yeah, I think dating apps you find very good friends though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've like literally I have amazing friends, you know, through dating apps. But yeah, I think we can also talk about, since we talked about your red flag or green flag of kura, so let's discuss on what we consider red flag or green flag.
Okay, I have a list here.
Okay.
Oh, my partner gets angry if I don't update them on where I am all the times.
Red flag.
Red flag. Right? Not just for like हुन्छ नि ल राति घर फर्केर चाहिँ एक्लै एमा निस्के ल पुगे ल भनेको सट्टा इट्स मोर लाइक तिमी कहाँ छौ के गरिरहेको छौ कहाँ पुग्यौ कोसँग छौ तिम्रो फोनमा कति छ ब्याट्री.
I feel like यो मैले चाहिँ धेरै साथीको सुनेको छु, they find it very cutesy, you know, oh my god he wants updates, he cares a lot for me. तर girl, read between the lines.
I know, like it's just about preference जस्तै लाग्छ क्या. Like if I'm a person who wants to be like nagged by my partner all the time, I'll probably be like wow that's so cute. And if I'm someone who wants personal space, want to do my own thing, I don't have to updating. Like I want the partner to also be very secure with themselves, like I am secure ni ta.
Okay, another one aita. They celebrate my achievements even when they have nothing to do with them.
That's a
green flag.
Like green forest.
That's a green forest.
It's a green forest. Okay, no doubting on that either. They give me the silent treatment when they're upset instead of communicating. All right.
Red flag.
Red flag. Red flag. I think communication is one of the biggest aspects. For example, let's say you have a heated argument, you know, and especially your argument settle huna, right? Say sometimes you take that space so that you don't say more hurtful things. Then you take space and then you come back and then you decide you want to talk in a more calm down manner. You want to see things critically and then discuss, sort it out. I think that's good.
That's a beige flag.
Yeah. But also communication plus comprehension ko kura pani ho ke. What you are trying to communicate, timro partner le त्यही खालको अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ गरिरहेको छ कि छैन, इज द पर्सन इज लाइक द पर्सन एबल टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड तिमीले भनेको कुरा कम्प्रिहेन्ड गर्न सकिरहेको छ कि छैन, इज अल्सो भेरी इक्वली इम्पोर्टेन्ट टाइपको.
या द्याट्स ट्रु, बिकज आई थिङ्क कम्प्रिहेन्सन इज लाइक इफ यु वान्ट टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड यु काइन्ड अफ पुट इन द्याट एफर्ट टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड जस्तो कि. तर इफ यु लाइक एकदमै
you know, this makes me think of one quote के होइन, एउटा मैले कहाँ पढेको थिएँ, आई थिङ्क आई रिड यस्तो खालको कुरा अलट. तर हुन्छ नि, इफ मेरो पार्टनर इज एन ओभर थिङ्कर भने उसलाई बुझाउन गाह्रो हुन्छ भने आई विल बी एन ओभर एक्सप्लेनर भनेर थियो कि. अनि द्याट्स सो नाइस के होइन. इट्स लाइक अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ तिमी एकअर्काको, लाइक वेन यु आर टुगेदर कुनै रिलेसनसिपमा अर यो डेटिङ भनेपछि यु अल्सो निड टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड आफ्नो पार्टनरको निड होइन, वाट दे आर लुकिङ फर, सो द्याट कि यु नो वाट टु डु के. सो यु क्यान टेक एक्सन अकर्डिङली भन्ने कुरा के. सो या
ओके. My partner compares me to their exes or other people in a negative way.
Red flag.
Red flag. I think this, oh my god, when it comes to red flags, sabai kura bhako cha हैन. I was dating this guy अनि all he did was talk about his ex-girlfriend. यति लेभलको कुरा गरेको थियो कि उसले, यति धेरै कुरा गर्ने कि I started knowing उसको favorite color, favorite restaurant. अनि after some point I started missing her as well. I'm like, oh my god, why is he not talking about her? हैन, everything उसलाई त्यस्तो मन पर्थ्यो. You know, she used to do this. Why aren't you into this thing? खालको के. अनि I'm like, oh my god, why are you talking about that girl a lot? And when he actually stopped, I'm like, why is he not talking about her? Okay? So that is biggest red flag.
Like sometimes you're being a therapist for his ex relationship जस्तो कि like he comes and tells you मैले यति माया गरेको थिएँ तर मलाई छोड्यो हुन्छ नि,
blame गर्नु पनि I think हैन, this is red flag के,
like यस्तो थियो तिमी त राम्रो रहेछौ, like taking her negative, putting her down to make you the better person is also so shitty.
Plus I think these are the same type of person who says it's like I'm always looking for my ex in my next.
What?
Like, the one who talks about their ex a lot. I feel like त्यस्तै हुन्छ के.
Okay, they respect my personal space and alone time without making me feel guilty.
I mean that's really a
nice.
green flag. I think respecting each other is एकदम important कुरा. Respectले नै एउटा foundation बनाउँछ relationship को जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई.
Yeah, if they don't respect you, you should not stay with them.
Yeah, so for example यो केसमा चाहिँ my personal space and alone time भनेको छ नि त. What if the reason they're able to respect it is the other person does not take it personally. Like for example, if I'm like हैन मलाई त personal time चाहियो भनेर अर्कोले चाहिँ offend भएर you don't want to talk to me?
Yeah.
Am I not good enough for you? You can't share this with me. But then the actuality of the situation is that they actually need some time to comprehend what's going on भनेर हैन. So okay, move on. When we fight, they bring up past mistakes to hurt me, even if we've moved on.
Biggest red flag.
No, like
no, if it's the same mistake.
Past mistake, अब same mistake त त्यो सच्याकै छ नि त के गर्ने.
तर you need to be हुन्छ नि able to sit down and discuss on that कि अनि त्यही कुरालाई चाहिँ तिमी त हो नि यस्तो गर्ने. It's very hurtful नै हुन्छ कि how you say it मा पनि it depends. Yeah.
I think if they've forgiven you about the mistake, they wouldn't bring it up to piss you off, trigger you.
Okay, last one. They respect my boundaries even if they don't fully understand them.
That's, I think, it's a green flag लाग्यो है.
Yeah, that's a green flag.
Because of course the person needs to like
be able to make them understand
पनि तर also
I think
respecting त्यो कुरा boundary वाला कुरा
बिस्तारै respect गर्दै सिक्छ होला, because it's all about giving them time to help them understand. It's so beautiful.
But as a partner you should also help हुन्छ नि, उसले बुझ्न खोजिरहेको छ भने बुझाउन पनि खोज्नु पर्छ इक्वली कुरा चाहिँ.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean I feel like कस्तो rant गरेर म नै हल्का भयो. I could relate to everything.
Okay. My God. So I think it's important because we talked about a really key subject, because one was like the freedom of entering into a relationship, being able to exit, understanding what is abuse, होइन, financial abuse को पनि कुरा भयो होइन, अनि त्यसपछि dating culture को कुरा भयो, अनि red flags, green flags, होइन, because so many times, sometimes when you end a relationship and then you reflect on the relationship, I'm like मैले यही बेला छोड्नु पर्ने, मैले यही बेला छोड्नु पर्ने भनेर कतिवटा reflection हुन्छ नि.
That was the first red flag.
मैले किन देखिन त्यो बेला, because you're so blinded by the situation त्यो बेला, अनि पछि चाहिँ it's like, oh my god, that was a red flag, that was a red flag भनेर you move on.
If I had to give anyone suggestion who is watching this to figure out what red flags is, like when they cross your boundary 3 times, I know, like let them do it 3 times, say, because it's understandable. Love pareko cha, you know, you're like crazy goon, like even when they mistake, you're like that's so perfect, म सहेर बस्दिन्छु भनेर त्यस्तै अलिकति passionate type को love हुन्छ नि त. Third time मा चाहिँ you're going to confront them or you are going to deciding to leave them हुन्छ नि. Either you're communicating about it or you're going to leave हुन्छ नि. What do you want to say?
I think मलाई चाहिँ this is something that works for me. When I talk to somebody about मेरो situation हैन, मलाई I talk about it यस्तो धेरै time because it helps me to reflect. जसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ maybe जुन सिचुएसनमा I was, सायद मैले यो एक्सन गर्न सक्थ्यो, यो कुरा रङ थियो भनेर इट हेल्प्स मी रिफ्लेक्ट वेन आई टक टु समबडी अबाउट दिस. सो त्यही भएर चाहिँ वेन यु हेभ सम, आई थिङ्क यो कुरा चाहिँ एकदम वी बिन सेइङ कि यु हेभ टु हेभ समबडी, बट इट्स सो इम्पोर्टेन्ट रहेछ कि यो इट विल हेल्प मेक थिङ्स इजियर एन्ड बेटर जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई.
Like my younger sister, when she briefs her about her relationship with I'm like छोड दे यसको काम चाहिँ छोड दे. यो भन्दा हुँदैन. तर मेरो केसमा चाहिँ I didn't have an elder sister who would be like छोड दे भन्ने मेरो सिचुएसनमा थिएन. तर I am so glad that I can be that person for her, be like भने यार यो पछि पनि यस्तै हो यो मान्छे, जस्ट अहिले नै कम ट्रमा छ, अहिले छोडिदिएर.
Honestly, it's a blessing when you have an older sister जो चाहिँ जसलाई जे पनि भन्न मिल्छ.
मलाई I am so grateful for you guys, किनभने this sisterhood like which I craved and which I found, and then we are sharing this sisterhood with everyone who is watching this.
Yes.
Like, I'm so lucky. We are so lucky.
we are.
Thank you so
Yes.
much, God.
Yeah.
So
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you for listening to us. This was episode 3
And
of...
thank you for sharing आफ्नो confessionsहरु पनि.
Yeah.
Like it takes a lot of courage to even share.
Somewhere wild, but we understand. We've been there.
Been there, done that. That's a very sad thing, I know. Reality.
All right.
Thank you so
Once
much.
more, yes.
Hope you enjoyed today's episode. We will be back with
And
another
also
one.
tell us like what would you like to see our episodes-हरुमा पनि.
Yeah, what are the topics you think are important that we should cover? Are there things that you want us to know? Even like in confessions ma, and then we can probably decide on how do we want to take it forward. And yeah, we're really excited for our other episodes as well.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Keep on watching.
Keep watching.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
And follow us on Instagram.
NCH Podcast.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.